All right, so this is my ongoing series of calling cutters. I want to get intimately close with the genital mutilators around me and have detailed conversations with their staff, their nurses, or whoever will listen and leave messages on their machines, all kinds of stuff. So I'd like to have fax campaigns coming up and all kinds of interesting stuff to connect and communicate with these doctors that we are not happy with what that was done to me and is being done to 3,000 baby boys every single day. So this is UCSD Family Medicine in La Jolla. They charge $560 to mutilate your child. We're going to give them, see if we can set up an appointment. I have a cool kind of little script that I'm going to do. Do you have any knowledge of how like the setup process works and all that kind of stuff? Or
no, talk to a doctor about it, and that's establishing care with the primary.
Oh, okay. So, what about a pediatrician? Do I set up an appointment with them, or so I have to have a primary doctor and then they set me up?
Yeah, it has to be under 18 to see a pediatric.
Oh yeah, they're under 18.
I can transfer you to pediatrics, so they can give you a little bit more information.
Okay, all right, that works.
So they're a little bit more informed, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Let me give you a direct number. Are you ready?
Hold on a second.
Ready?
Good afternoon. Thank you for calling UC San Diego. My name is David. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I've got a couple questions. I recently got all the insurance and everything taken care of, and we want to schedule some appointments for my children. Recently moved here, and I have some questions concerning. Well, what happened was my son, I was originally scheduled. I was going to have him circumcised when he was born, but he was premature, so the doctors recommend not doing it until later. And so we always planned on doing it, and we plan on doing it real soon. It's kind of like time got away from us. Anyways, he's 12 now. And I guess supposedly he's been online doing research for his own, knowledge, and he's kind of coming up with some weird ideas. So I wanted to kind of touch base with the doctor and see if I could, find out, because I know, you guys are the professionals and you have the knowledge of,
circumcision for a 12-year-old?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a specialist that will do it. Yeah. So what insurance do you guys have?
That's already been set up through my wife. I'm not the one I wouldn't be able to answer all that. What my question is there somebody I could talk to briefly about it so I could, like kind of ease some of his questions and stuff like that? Is there anybody available that has knowledge about, maybe a nurse or something, so I could schedule an appointment? Somebody I could, you know what I'm saying?
Is he in our system yet, your son?
Not yet.
Okay, so I gotta be honest with you. We could transfer you to a triage nurse, but you would have to be a patient. You'd have to be in our system first.
Do you have any knowledge of the stuff of the procedure yourself? Are you familiar with it?
Just from my understanding, I believe I have heard of it. So let me ask some people. I won't be able to get a nurse for you, but let me try to get some information.
Okay.
Just 1 moment, okay?
Sure.
Please hold. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I want to see what they're going to have to say.
Okay, so let me just explain. We are just the call center registration and primary scheduling, but just off my manager's knowledge of, we've been here for several years now, is that she believes that your son would have to have like a medical condition for one of our doctors to step in and do that procedure. Like if there was like tract infections normally it's consistent, or skin issue, but usually it has to be a medical reason for one of our doctors to do that procedure at such a later age.
So why would be the difference legally between doing it at for a 3-month-old or a 8-year-old?
Yeah, I'm not sure. She was just talking off experience about if we've had patients.
Okay.
And she knows there are cases they've done it for medical reasons.
Are you familiar yourself with the doctors that do this? You don't work with them directly at all?
No, sir. We're even off site. We're just a call center here.
Okay.
So I don't have the idea. We don't have doctors and nurses. We have a triage line, but I can't send a non-patient there, so I do apologize.
Interesting. Okay, I got it.
Okay, sir.
Well, I got a quick question for you. Did you have this done to you?
Yeah, I was done as a child.
Yeah.
I don't recall at all. Yeah.
Actually, I just the reason why I'm calling is to educate people. Did you know that it's 1/3 to 1/2 the surface area of the penile skin is removed? It removes about 75% of the nerve endings, including the most sensitive type called Meissner corpuscles. So what they've done is they've literally removed the most sensitive part of our genitals, and they make profit off it. And they sell it. They sell the foreskins to companies that they'll do research. They'll sell it to. I'm not like, you can look at this stuff up. They sell it to research for. They'll do research with it. They'll also sell it to skin cream companies. So these rich women will lather babies' foreskin on their face. It's literally disgusting. We're literally cannibalizing the genitals of our children. And these doctors that are doing this, they say that there's medical reasons. The medical reasons are completely asinine, ridiculous. They wouldn't fly for any other surgery that's done on an infant. They make absolutely no sense. The scientific and medical community is completely, the rest of the world is completely against it. The U.S. tries to make up reasons for it. It's after the fact. They try to justify it. This was actually started as an anti-masturbation campaign in the 1890s because they believed that sin caused diseases, and so by getting rid of the foreskin, which makes sex more pleasurable and more enjoyable, they remove the most sensitive part. Boys are going to be less likely to masturbate. Well, we still masturbate because obviously we know now that our hormones control our sexual desires, not our genitals. But the fact is we literally have damaged genitals from an 18th century quack medicine, and we're missing the most sensitive part of our genitals. We will never have the experience that a whole intact man has. What his experience of sex is. We don't know it. We'll never experience it, and neither will our partners unless they're with an intact man. So we can't give our partners that type of experience. There's a reason why erectile dysfunction is so high in the United States and Israel. In fact, in Israel, they tried to make Viagra a non-prescription drug. It was so popular. And this is only happening in countries like America. In Europe, 80% of the world's men have all their genitals. The only country that does this, the only modern country that does this, is the United States of America. And we're doing this to little babies based off of 19th century quack medicine that's morphed into something they've kind of had to come up with a reason for it. They can't come out and say, hey, you know what, we've been mutilating the genitals of little baby boys, of hundreds of millions of baby boys across this country, and we're sorry. You know what I mean? Because that they couldn't afford those types of lawsuits. Anyways, yeah, it's fucked up, man. So we're kind of living our lives not really knowing what it would have been like.
I never thought about it in a certain way.
Yeah, you sound like a pretty intelligent person. I would really do some research into this. Now, if you're interested, I would look at a guy named Dr. Sorrells. He did a fine touch sensitivity testing. The reason why I think this is important for you and for me is to really know like what some of the issues we may have in our lives. Why they exist, it helps us to work around them better. I basically, because when I found out about this, I'm 43. I found out about this when I was 37. So, like all my life, all these, things that I've been dealing with, such as, like dry sex, like my girlfriend running out of lube. That's because we're missing the part that acts as a gasket, which stops the lubrication from coming out. So men like me and you who are cut, every time we pull out, that lubrication is drying up. So we push in, we pull out, we dry. We push in, we pull out. Well, even if you have the most, juicy woman in the world, eventually she's going to dry out. So if you go beyond 30 minutes, you have to have lube. So I didn't understand that. That doesn't make sense. Why all these issues? Why do men have such premature ejaculation issues? Why do men have erectile dysfunction issues in this country? All these issues that we have. When you watch American Pie, and you see this guy who's having, has premature ejaculation issues, it's because he's missing this fine touch sensitivity. And a lot of people say, oh, well, if we had more sensitivity, wouldn't he come sooner? No. That's like saying if we had more control over the speed of your car, would I have better, would I be able to take that turn better? Of course, if you have more control, you can control how you speed up and slow down, whereas we have basically an on and off switch. So as soon as you start and hit that certain point, boom, it's gone, we're exploding, right? I mean, as we age, we learn how to control those things. But the fact is we shouldn't have to deal with these issues. These shouldn't be issues. But you're going to have a child maybe in the future. Okay, and this is, a question that's going to come up to you. Maybe you have a child. And we need to break this cycle, man. I mean, we can't change what was done to us. We're never going to have the full bodies that we were born with. we can't ever experience that like what we would have experienced had we, been born in Europe or South America or Asia. Most places in the world don't do this. 80% of the world's men have all their genitals. But the only thing that we can do is we can stop it from happening to our own children. You know what I mean? And we can educate people. So anyways, I really appreciate you listening. I hope that there was a valuable conversation for you. And, just think about it in your future. And like I said, do your research. Look up like Sorrel's fine touch sensitivity test. It'll educate you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for listening.
All right, sir. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Well, that was positive. Like, I know there's going to be gatekeepers to these doctors. I mean, these doctors aren't going to have the direct line. So I know I'm going to be talking to people who schedule, maybe these are call centers. It's one person call center. What am I going to do with that? I don't know. But, hey, at least, you heard him. He listened. So it was kind of cool, That doesn't happen all the time. You might get some people that are terrorists or whatever. But who cares, like that guy, maybe I saved his son. Maybe I helped explain something to him about an issue that he's having or whatever. So anyways, keep it real, keep fighting. This isn't going to end till we end it. It's obviously not going to end with intelligent medical professionals who do their job and do their research and actually do medicine based off of science rather than culture or whatever bullshit they're doing. Anyways, American doctors, we are coming for you. Love those of you who get this. Bye-bye.